Hey, it's me, Rick Rule.
So,
You're listening to the Classic Metal Show.
sure.
Yeah, buddy. Come on over.
So
Play his ID. That's a funny ID.
Oh, Rick Rule.
Yeah, Rick Rule.
I like Rick Rule. Those guys were really nice, and again, as I said, they put on a really great show. I was just like, "Holy shit, that was a good show."
Yeah, it's funny. All these bands that have reunited, they're one that hasn't.
Here's one.
Hey, this is Jim Phipps of Every Mother's Nightmare, and you're rocking hard to the Classic Metal Show. Yeah, rock it out.
That was their drummer.
Rick Rule.
All right, got it.
Hey, all you metalheads, this is Jim Phipps of Every Mother's Nightmare. You're tuned into the Classic Metal Show, the hardest rocking show on the dial.
Hey, this is Rick Rule from Every Mother's Nightmare, and you're rocking to the Classic Metal Show. Crank it up, turn it on, turn it out.
Those boys are from Tennessee.
Dude sounds like he was like the night guy for Goober and Mayberry.
Whether you like them or not, I always liked Every Mother's Nightmare. They were just like one of those C-rated bands.
Yeah,
but they were good.
I don't know them enough to have an opinion. I mean, you play. What's the song you play? Whenever you play it, I sort of know it and I like it, but I don't know anything.
Well, they got a few songs.
Yeah, that's all when I was out of the country.
Yeah, exactly. They came in at the end of the 80s.
Yeah, and I was in Korea, so believe me, Every Mother's Nightmare never hit the PX.
Well, they were never big, not at all, not in the least. But
who was bigger, them or Alias?
Boy, I can't name an Alias song only because just because I was not hip to them and
right.
Not so much a fan, but I did like Every Mother's Nightmare.
How about them or Steelheart?
I'm going to say Steelheart.
Steelheart was bigger?
Yeah.
So I got to go lower than Steelheart.
Yes.
Them or Kick Tracy?
I'm going to, that's about a draw.
That's a draw?
I'm going to say that's a draw.
So they were a never been.
Yeah, more or less.
All right.
They did not, they were not even a blip on the radar.
Okay. Were they more of a blip when they came back?
No, not at all.
All right. I don't know. I don't remember them.
Well, this is, I'm going to play the tune that got them radio airplay.
Okay.
It was, this was back when the big power ballads.
Right.
This is basically what put them in the spotlight and actually got some commercial radio airplay.
Okay.
This kind of capitalizes on the whole like Skid Row, I Remember You type thing.
Right. Okay.
know that one at all?
I've heard it on this show, but I know I did not hear it in the 80s. I did not know that song.
This was another one of their, hits, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like that.
I didn't think you would.
No, that's way too Faster Pussycat.
Yeah, well, that was exactly in that vein. That was exactly the time that came out.
Yeah, that's the shit that I definitely would have heard like 2 notes of and gotten out of it.
Sure.
I did not. All those that were like the real hardcore sleaze bands.
Right.
That even Poison I sort of dug Poison a little bit because it certainly was chick oriented.
Sure.
But all of the second tier ones of that sleaze metal, I fucking did not like any of it. Especially Faster Pussycat.
Right.
They sucked.
Right.
Did you like Faster Pussycat?
Not really, no.
I just, that the bathroom wall.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, that was about that time when Every Mother's Nightmare came out.
Yeah, not a fan.
So
not a fan. I'm sure it was a good show, and I'm sure they're nice guys. And Rick Rude sounds like a really good old boy.
He is.
I'm quite sure he's got a Confederate flag up behind his television.
I have no doubt about that. But then, even though they didn't have any commercial success per se after those couple of hits,
yeah,
they continued putting out CDs, on Paris Records of all things, that big powerhouse Paris Records.
Man, they must have sold in the tens.
They did. But that's when they started getting more kind of into bluesy, kind of heavy bluesy stuff like this.
Right, I like that a little better than the other shit you played before.
Well, yeah, they were trying to appeal to that sleaze rock, hair metal stuff.
Yeah.
But then when they kind of like became independent and, they weren't looking for any commercial success per se.
Then they became a rock band.
Yeah, then they became a rock band. Yeah, exactly. And that's the era that I saw them at the Revolution.
All right. That song sounded okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just that I'll stick to my unknowns like McQueen Street.
Sure.
Much better band.
Sure. So there was just this weird, end of the era bands that were just reaching for whatever was left of the, the scraps that were left.
Sure.
And these record labels were still trying to shop these kind of guys around, but obviously it came to an end.
Yep, it did. It was over, Johnny.
But you know what I was listening to today on Spotify? I listened to it. It's an EP, so it was pretty short.
What's that?
I was listening to Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies this morning.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yep, that's stay away.
Exactly, stay away. That was pretty fun. I loved it. But I listened to it twice. I was just like, man, that is such a good record.
That one is good. Alice in Chains did no wrong for me, other than the live album. I didn't like the live album itself, but all their other stuff was fantastic. I like Sap too. Did you ever listen to Sap?
Oh, I got all of them.
Yeah, dude, so good. That's one of. I don't know if you like listening to box sets. I don't especially, but that's a box set. The whatever that's called.
It's called Music Bank.
Music Bank.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of their 80s stuff in there, which they basically were like an 80s band.
Yeah, I know, but that's quality listening. You can just throw that on and let all 50 songs play.
I agree with that.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Very good stuff there.
So that was my listening choice this morning, was listening to Alice in Chains' Jar of Flies.
My listening this morning was, I was in a writing mood today, so I did a bunch of writing today. And I was listening to, and you're going to be surprised that I don't have any of the early Thunder records. I'm going to have to get those from you.
I have them, yes.
Because I went on Spotify. This is turning into an advertisement for Spotify.
Yeah, but you know what? Michael Abatista has been so cool to us for the last 3 years and throwing us a Spotify premium membership.
Yeah,
that it's hard not to listen to Spotify and throw that plug out there, because it is such a great outlet for tunes.
I love it. I love it. I use it pretty much every day. But no, I was listening to the first. There's like 3 or 4 records that I don't have of Thunder.
Okay,
and I listened to those today. Like and one of them is the big one, the one with Backstreet. Was it Backstreet Symphony?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
I was listening to that today, and then they had a covers record that I didn't know existed. I was listening to that, and just that's a good band.
It is. I love Thunder from the first time. You know where I heard about Thunder?
Where?
They were playing at the Donington Festival.
Okay.
And David Coverdale was promoting them heavily.
Okay.
And I listened to Thunder through the suggestion of David Coverdale that I heard in an interview.
Right. Now, who was bigger, Thunder or Every Mother's Nightmare?
Oh, Thunder.
Were they big?
Well, over in Europe.
Because I don't remember them either, really, from the day. I mean, I love them now, but
not here. They didn't break so much here in the States, but over in Europe, they were big.
Did they have any stateside hits here?
Yeah, of course.
I don't remember what was their hits.
Let me.
Dirty Love.
Which one?
Dirty Love.
Yeah, Dirty Love was one.
Was that an actual radio hit?
It was.
Okay.
Never Dirty Love.
I'm gonna feel your dirty love. You know
exactly.
that I know that song, but
So
all right.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that song. I sort of knew that song.
Being that they came out like in 1990, it was kind of like past that point.
Yeah, and by 90, I was listening to a lot heavier stuff
Sure.
at that time. All I wanted to, you couldn't make music heavy enough for me in that era. That's when I was listening to nothing but Pantera, Metallica, Sepultura, Cannibal Corpse, Death Angel and the Organization. That's when I was living in California.
Sure.
Lord knows I became a real hardcore metalhead.
Yeah, well, if you were definitely listening to that, you would not have paid attention to Thunder.
No, I was much more inclined to go and see Testament or whatever, Exodus. That's where I was. If that's from 90, I did not listen to hair metal pretty much at all in the time I was in California, from 89 to about 92, I listened to almost no hair metal.
Sure.
All I wanted to, and I'll be honest, my biggest album that I listened to in that era was Sepultura's Arise album. I played that fucker to death. Holy smokes, I love that record.
Sure.
So yeah, that's probably how I missed Thunder, was just because I was, on to other things.
Yeah. Well, the market, even then became so saturated that to keep up on everybody and everything that came out would have been impossible.
Right.
And it's just like today, with digital media being the way that it is, and every independent band out there can release their music out to the internet.
Right.
You can never find everything that's out there.
No, you really can't.
So, and unless it's put in front of my face, mostly, because you present it to me anyway. It's rare when I'll go out there and I'll discover some new band that I'd never heard of before, because it's just like it's just so much.
There's too much.
It's media overload.
Look, I stay active with it, and I listen. We get 100 things a week, and I probably download 50 of them. I mean, I really do. I do listen, and I try to listen to all of it, or as much of it as I can, and I'm fortunate to have time to do that. But the amount that actually sticks, honestly, the stuff that I send you is what sticks.
Sure.
And what is that? 4 records a week?
Give or take, yeah.
I mean, there's just not a whole lot of good stuff that's stick. I was listening to a band today called Night Rain. Have you heard of this band?
No,
Night Rain,
not at all.
Niterain.
Not at all.
They list themselves as the new Motley Crue.
Okay.
You got Spotify over there?
I do.
Pull up Night Rain from their Vendetta record.
Okay.
It's on Spotify. And they list themselves as the new Motley Crue, which they're not. They're like Motley Crue without any of whatever it was that made Motley Crue happen. I don't know what you call that, a spark or whatever is missing. But listen to this first song. Tell me this is not a blatant ripoff of Motley Crue's Wild Side.
Now, is it Night REI?
Niterain.
Oh, NITE.
Yeah, Niterain.
Well, first of all, their name sucks.
Yeah, their name is terrible, and their look is terrible, and their sound. They're like, if Crash Diet is a good band that does that kind of music now, then this is the B or C level.
All right, what song am I listening for?
First track on the album called Vendetta.
Lost and Wasted.
Whatever it's called.
All right, let's check out some Night, Niterain. That's all one word.
Yeah, Night Rain.
Night Rain. Terrible.
That was my vision.
All right. The production is terrible on that. I
But
mean,
doesn't it sound like-
the vocals are buried for one thing.
Right.
And then it's just like everything is EQ'd to the max.
Right.
You know, so there's no separation of tracks there at all.
No, dude, musically, I'm not trying to judge it. All I'm trying to say is that song is a blatant ripoff of Motley's Wild Side.
Yeah. As soon as I heard that, it was just way overmodulated.
Yeah.
There was just no production value in that at all.
Yeah, no, they're not very good.
Yeah, not at all. It's just another garage band that's trying to sound like somebody.
But that's the kind of shit we get fed every week.
Yeah, not good. Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How's it going for you?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
Who is this?
Yeah, my name's John.
Okay, John, where are you calling from?
Oh, Houston.
You're from Houston? Okay, what's on your mind tonight, John from Houston?
Oh, well, yeah, I'm just tuning into the show.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, what are you guys talking about?
All right, well, thanks, John from Houston, for calling. I think, Houston, we have a problem. John, do you have a subject you want to talk about?
Oh, sure. Yeah, what's with a lot of the racism on the show?
John, let me teach you a little lesson here. If you're going to call the show and let me ask you, I'm going to interview you, John. Do you want to be interviewed on the biggest radio show in the world?
Yeah, I don't mind. I listen to some of your YouTube stuff. It's pretty hilarious.
All right, well, I appreciate the compliment, but let me ask you something, John. When you looked at your phone and said to yourself, I'm going to call the Classic Metal Show, and I'm going to say what? What did you want to say to us?
I want to talk about metal.
All right, well, go ahead. You go ahead. Talk about metal. What would you like to talk about?
Who is the best guitarist in metal?
John, don't you think that's a subjective question? I'm going to say that Chris would answer Dimebag Darrell or Zakk Wylde. I'm going to say Eddie Van Halen or George Lynch. How about you, John? What do you think?
I would say the most underrated, Rocky George of the thrash scene.
Okay.
Dude, you're the one that called up and fucking wrecked what was going on.
What's up? Who's this?
Well, John, I really appreciate your insight and your call. But
talk to me. What you guys
well, you called us, so you need to talk to us.
What is
Garbage.
Okay, look at this. Do you think Ozzy Osbourne is overrated?
Overrated in what regard?
Do you think he gets a lot of credit that he shouldn't?
I think Ozzy Osbourne was a pioneer because he started so early with Black Sabbath in the late 60s. So he was one of the forefathers of hard rock and heavy metal. So does he deserve the accolades he gets? Absolutely. Is he relevant today? Not so much.
But, I mean, what is he? He doesn't write anything. He doesn't play any instruments. He's more just the band. You go to see the band.
Well, I agree with you, John. But the thing is that Ozzy was a pioneer. He was part of the pioneer group, and he carried that legacy on to the Blizzard of Oz, his own band, after his dismissal from Black Sabbath. He put out some pretty stellar records in the early to mid 80s, and I think he deserves his place as one of the godfathers of hard rock or heavy metal.
I don't know. Well, who would you say is his best guitarist?
Cut your fucking losses, dude. Just fucking go. Get killed.
Is that Jim Norton?
That's Jim Norton. We have Jim Norton with us here in the studio.
Oh, what's up?
You stink, and I don't like you.
I could care less. So,
We hate the
who's your favorite
fucking
guitarist?
callers, man. It's like one fucking bad joke after another.
Oh, so that would be like one of your shows, right?
It is.
Oh. So who's your favorite guitarist?
That's not what I'm telling you.
Who's your favorite guitarist?
That's not what I'm telling you.
Are we talking about hard rock? Are we talking about acoustic? Are we talking metal? What in what genre?
Okay, put it like this. Who would you say is the most influential guitarist?
In what genre? There's so many influential guitarists out there. What genre are we talking about?
Let's say blues hard rock, that era.
Blues hard rock. Who's the greatest? I'm going to say Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin.
Jimmy Page?
Jimmy Page.
Over Jimi Hendrix?
I don't think Jimi Hendrix was blues hard rock. I think Jimi Hendrix was more acid experimental rock.
Acid? Oh, come on. That's a Rolling Stone term.
You asked my opinion, John. What can I tell you?
Well, I thought you were a fan, man. Acid rock? That's Rolling Stone shit. Come on.
Come on. John, how old are you?
I'm 29.
You're 29. You're a youngster. You're a millennial.
Is that a millennial? I thought a millennial was a little more.
No, millennials go to 35.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Well, John, I hate to cut this short because you've been so enthralling and all, but I encourage you to call back.
Put it like this. Interview me. I'm sure you don't get very many black callers.
Oh, we get plenty of millennial callers. Are you familiar with Moogle?
No. I said black callers.
Black callers. You're a black guy?
Yes, I'm a black guy.
Wow. All right.
Interview me.
Couple of weeks.
All right, Phil Lynott of Thin Lizzy.
Rockstar. Epitome of a rock.
What's the question? Favorite who? Rockstar?
No, I said he asked me about Phil Lynott. I said before anything, let me preface it with Rockstar. Epitome of a rock.
Chris, anything?
For money, we'll do anything.
No, I got nothing.
All right. John, I appreciate your call.
Well, come on, ask me something.
I did.
Ask me something else.
Start your own show, John. You clearly got the chops.
Well, hey, come on, man. All the racism that goes on. Give me a chance.
Well,
we're not being racist. How are we being racist?
No, your callers are extremely racist.
Well, of course they are, because they're not politically correct, and there's humor in racial jokes.
Oh yeah.
All right, John, you can call anytime, but I'm going to jump.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, where's the love for the suicidal tendencies? They ever get mentioned over there?
We had him on the show last year.
Who? Which one?
The guitar player, the current guitar player, the black guy.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Dean Pleasant.
Maybe. Look at the IDs, Neely. I don't remember what his name was, but I interviewed him in person. I interviewed him at the Rock on the Range.
Is he pretty cool?
Yeah. He was great.
But no, really, man. What topics were you guys on?
Are you listening to the show?
I know. I just called in.
No, we are live, right? You know we're live, right?
Oh, but you guys don't usually have anything going on. Come on.
If you were listening to the show, you would know what we're talking about.
You got Jim Dort. You got nothing doing. Come on.
Well, you called us.
That's because you got Jim Dort on the show.
All right, John.
We're going to jump. Hail and kill.
All right.
Jeez.
Holy cow.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Dude, it's okay if you just hang up like right away.
I know, but sometimes these people intrigue me. It's just like, what are you thinking? You pick up the phone, I'm going to call the show, and I'm going to say...
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Stop.
So good.
Oh, my God.
My God. That's funny. Here's the guy right here.
Hey, this is Dean Pleasance from Suicidal Tendencies, and you're listening to the Classic Metal Show. Rock on.
There you go.
Yeah, I interviewed him at Rock. I remember the interview. I just don't remember what we talked about.
Sure.
I'm sure we talked about suicidal tendencies.
Oh, my God.
That's what we talked about.
What are you guys talking about?
Whew.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Well, you know, we're supposed to be moved because we had a black caller.
Sure.
Therefore, you know, since we're so ridiculously racist, I guess.
Yeah, we're racist and shit. So.
Meanwhile, we're gonna have a black co-host in a couple of weeks.
Right. I love it. Neither one of us. I don't consider myself racist at all.
Well, I consider you racist.
Do you? Do you consider me racist?
I think you have a little more hate.
I think I'm more behavioralist.
Yeah, I don't know. I judge everybody as asshole or cool. I don't give a fuck.
Well, again, that's behavioralist.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what their race is.
I don't either. I mean, if you behave yourself and act responsibly, I have no problem with you.
Yeah,
none.
Just stay cool with me, and we're good. I don't care what you do the rest of your life.
I agree.
Anyway, not really looking to get into racism tonight.
Yeah, me either. Well, I need a short break.
Yeah, in other words, it's time to piss.
It's time to piss and get a drink.
Yep. Well, can you play Living Color, and then after that, Seven Dust, and then after that, Thin Lizzy,
sure.
And then after that, Black Sheep.
Some Willie Bass.
Willie Bass checking in.
Willie Bass.
Yeah, and play as many IDs as we have from black guys.
Right. Well, we've had Willie Bass on the show. Actually, he was out at the Bob Nalbandian debut of the Inside Metal thing. So
was he Bob's token guy?
Yeah, he was the token guy.
King's X, yeah, King's X he played.
So funny.
Jeez, oh man.
Wow. Ridiculous. All right, I'm going to play a couple of tunes. We'll be back. I'm going to take a piss, get a drink. We'll get back into some subjects.
All right.
All right, here's some Burning Rain exclusively here
on your Classic Metal Show.
Hey guys, this is Doug Aldrich, and you're listening to one of my best all-time friends, Neely, on the Classic Metal Show.